Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I am Dr. Radhakrishnan, Professor and Dean, Faculty of Education and Methodology. Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the topic on micro teaching. As a prospective teacher, you have to improve your teaching competency, teaching efficiency in order to make the teaching more efficient and competent and a skilled teacher. So in this regard, the concept of micro teaching is very important. Today we will make some discussion regarding the topic on micro teaching. Micro teaching is an experimental and analytical method of education training through which teachers' teaching skills are developed. So in order to develop the teaching competency of the teacher trainees, you have to improve your teaching skills. Micro teaching is very significant. Micro teaching presents a plan for teaching practices that reduces the complexities of normal classroom, and teachers receive feedback in large part of their teaching practices. When we are practicing making a teaching session that improve the complexities of the day-to-day classroom sessions, that's make the teaching, when we practice micro teaching session, that it makes the teaching learning process more efficient, effective, and more attractive, and more confident enough to present the content in a systematic manner. So in the we can see the different ideas, different definitions made by different educational thinkers. According to VM Shaw, micro teaching is a practice of small time, few students, and fewer teaching practices. It's a session mainly addressing a very few minutes duration, 5 to 10 minutes, like that, 5 to 6 minutes, maybe to improve the specific competency of the teacher trainees. So in that way, as far as the D.W. Allen is concerned, micro teaching is a scaled down encounter in class size and class time. It's a scaled down process. In the words of Swift and others, micro teaching is a training procedure which reduces the teaching situation to a simpler and more controlled encounter, achieved by limiting the practice teaching a specific skill and reducing time and size. So we have to select the topic as a small, for example, we have to improve our competency in order to improve the skill of introducing the lesson. So what we have to do, we have to take some small period of time how to introduce the lesson in a systematic fashion, or how to make my competency to explain the topic in a different manner, how to simplify the concept. So in that way we take this session in a very small time duration. So in order to improve the teaching competency and efficiency of the prospective teachers. So that is very important in this regard. In the words of Alan Ryan, micro teaching is based on the following 5 basic principles. Micro teaching is the actual teaching. It is also the real teaching, but the time duration is very small. So selection of the topic is also very small. So that is why it is a teaching strategy to improve the competencies. So in this teaching, the common complications of classroom education, class education is reduced, and only a special task and skill is emphasized at a time. We will be focusing on one particular task, that is, it may be a skill of introducing the lesson, skill of asking questions, skill of explaining the topic, posing the styles, summarizing the lessons, making better feedback from the students. So in order to make some competency, some special talents improvement from the part of the prospective teachers, it is possible to control the exercise procedure, and also it gives a good feedback for the teachers as well. When we are practicing this micro teaching session, it gives the correct feedback, correct analysis of the output. What is the competency, how much we can improve ourselves as a prospective teacher. So that is why it gives more emphasis on the professional's competency and skill of the prospective teachers. So in the words of Professor B.K. Basi, Micro teaching is a training technique which requires pupil teacher to reach a single concept using a specified teaching skill to a small number of people in a shorter duration of time. That we can select as a small number of classroom session, number of students should be 5 to 10 students, 5 to very small classroom size, very small topic, very small activities are within a very limited period of time. So in that way, we can make a specific attention to one particular target area. So in the words of LC Singh, micro teaching is a scaled down teaching encounter to which a teacher teaches a small unit or group to a group of 5 pupils or a small period for 5 to 20 minutes. Maximum we can take 5 to 20 minutes maximum to improve the teaching competency of the teacher trainees. There are certain assumptions regarding micro teaching. What are the things you have to keep in your mind? So teacher's behavior pattern is necessary for effective micro teaching. The behavior pattern of the teacher, the attitude of the teacher, and the perception of the teacher is very important. And also motivation plays a key role in the transformation of the expected behavior. How to motivate, how to create an effective classroom session, that is very important all the time. How to ensure the active involvement of the learner in the teaching learning process. Ensure their active participation in the teaching learning process. So teaching is a therapeutic procedures. Understand the learner, understand the classroom practices, understand the concept. As a teacher, you must have a thorough knowledge about the topic, clear-cut idea about the topic, what you are going to present in front of the students, how to ensure their active involvement in the learning process, how to make an energetic session in the classroom. So that is all in your mind. Teaching objective observation of action is required for the best training. It's a kind of best training for the teacher trainees to improve the teaching skills of the prospective teacher. Teacher must be given adequate opportunity to improve yourself. It gives after all we are getting a feedback. The teacher get a chance to improve your efficiency as a teacher. How to improve myself, to improve in a better perspective, better level. How can I modify my teaching ability to introduce the lesson? How can I improve my style of explanation in front of the students? How we can effectively motivate my students in the class? How to make an energetic session in the class? How I can stimulate their interest in the classroom sessions. All these things should be in our mind. So teaching process can be upgraded by improving individual teaching skills. Micro teaching is a very small and simplified form of teaching. It is a very small and simplified form of teaching, very small duration of the time. In that particular period of time, it should be an interesting and active learning environment that ensures our confidence as a teacher. Micro teaching is an educational process. It is simply an educational process. Teacher offers practical knowledge and principles of micro teaching to pupil teachers. It is known as interaction session. So many a time we can take this micro teaching session as an introductory session. Teachers specifically state the teaching skills which are to be developed and interpretation of psychological basis of the pupil teacher. It is very important to identify the psychological. In the classroom session we can understand the psychological background of the students. In the micro teaching session, as a prospective teacher, we must have the confidence to present. As a beginners, we have tension, worries, and like that of a little bit less confidence in our mind. As a prospective teacher, then it is our responsibility to boost our confidence. As a new beginner, I can do my best. The psychological approach, a kind of attitude and self-confidence that micro teaching session ensures for the prospective teachers when we are making a continuous and constant practice. So the teacher and pupil teacher closely analyze the shortcomings of the discuss the characteristics of ideal text and determines learning and skills. So in the micro teaching sessions, the prospective teacher getting a chance to analyze the drawbacks. After the end of the session, they will get some ideas from the observations. They are in a position to improve their teaching competency and efficiency so as to become an effective teacher in future. So teacher provides pupil to the needed time to prepare micro lesson and assist them personally. So it gives them a chance to improve their personal efficiency and competency, and do well prepared manner, how to face the classroom sessions, how to make a better interaction, how to motivate my students in an effective manner. In that way, the micro teaching sessions help the teacher in a target how to improve myself, how to make how to transmit my ideas effectively and systematically, how I can motivate my students in a attractive passion. So in that way, this small duration session many a time helping the prospective teacher so as to analyze how to improve myself as a confident teacher. So after teaching, class teacher discuss micro session with the teacher in detail, both good and bad point, what are the shortcomings in the teaching, in the micro teaching sessions. Everything should be analyzed at the end of the session. So teacher is in a position to get a clear cut picture about how, what are the limitations which my friends are observing. Accordingly, the teacher is in a position to modify himself and can able to do something better in future. So after these critical sessions, pupil teacher changes the teaching plan according to the recommendations and they can start. So according, if some suggestion, some modification in the teaching learning process will be there, the teacher, prospective teacher is in a position to accept the recommendations, suggestions, arguments and supports which he is getting from his fellow members. So in that way, the prospective teacher is getting a chance to improve his teaching competency in a most attractive fashion. So this session, the people teacher teaches recreated lesson, the students in the class. This teaching is also recorded in a tape recorder. It is called a teaching session. So the entire process, this 10 minutes duration session can be recorded, that the teacher, prospective teacher or the training teacher can assess what are the shortcomings, what I can improve. He can hear every practices. So in order to improve the efficiency, how I can do the best as a teacher. So in that way, it gives some ideas for the prospective teacher to improve his efficiency as a teacher. So micro teaching session in consists of 3 main cycles. We can see 6 cycles. So first of all, you have to make a plan how to do. Then you have to do, after making a clear cut plan, what are the strategies I want to apply. For example, skill of introducing the lesson, how I can introduce the lesson, what questions I can write, how many questions I can ask the students, to whom I will ask. So in this way, how, in order to motivate the attention of the students in the class, the plan should be very systematic. What are the questions, how to introduce the, for example, the skill of introducing the lesson. So when we introducing the lesson, how to ask certain questions to motivate the students. What are the kind of questions I can ask? What kind of explanation I can give in the time of introduction? So what clarification I can give to motivate the students' attention in the class. So the teaching style should be mainly to focus the curiosity of the students in the class. Classroom should be very energetic to respond to the questions of the students. Everyone should be very vigilant in order to respond to the questions. So teacher must be stimulate the thinking level of the students in order to ensure the active involvement of the students in the class. The teaching style should be in that way. So after the teaching, this teacher make the feedback. What is the how much the students response? What if my introduction is in a position to catch the attention of the students? Whether they are properly motivated, whether the expected questions are properly answered by the students. Then what is the shortcomings? So everything should be analyzed in the feedback. So again, if it is not up to the mark, the teacher can again practice in the form of replan. Again, the teacher can be repeat the same procedure, the same teaching procedure we can do. Again, some little bit changes we can do through reteaching, and again we can do re-feedback. So this is kind of a practices: planning, teaching, feedback, replan, reteaching and re-feedback. Likewise, this process of micro teaching session makes the teaching competency and efficiency of the prospective teacher in a best manner. So that is let us see the advantages of micro teaching. Micro teaching simplifies the teaching process. It gives the teacher, prospective teacher, a confidence to present the topic, and also gives the more ideas and improve the teaching skills and efficiency, and make the teaching learning process more easiness and in a perfect manner. Pupil teacher develops his teaching skill by focusing according to his capabilities and tries to learn them. So it helps the teacher trainees to improve the capabilities of the teacher. And feedback adopts complete all approaches. The feedback help the teacher trainees to improve his efficiency. How can I improve myself? How can I improve my competency as a teacher? So in that way, the pupil teacher has the right to keep his side in feedback and keep active in feedback session. So the feedback make the teacher to be do in the best manner. How I can do my best. So that improve his self-confidence and his approach. So it reduces the classroom complexities. So if any confusion in mind, in some kind of irritation, some kind of a proper confidence level is not there. So the complexity to motivate the attention of the students, how interacting with the students, some kind of a confusing mind, everything should, this kind of a complexities in the daily classroom sessions can overcome with the effective micro teaching practices. The method fills the pupil teacher with self-confidence. It teaches more less time in the classroom sessions. So the session is always the small number of students, small topic area that help the teacher to present the ideas in a systematic and confident manner. So there are certain limitations. It is only as controlled and compressed learning sessions, and many a time teaching takes up the classroom teaching. Many a time this kind of a practices gets more time consuming. So daily classroom sessions, it is very difficult to get that much of time and that much of sincerity and honesty from the part of the prospective teachers to do the things in sessions. Many a time classroom practices are limited. So that is why some little bit limitations are we can see, but at the same time, as a prospective teachers, it is one of the best practices so as to improve the teaching competency, teaching efficiency, and that improve the confidence of the prospective teachers in a best manner. So micro teaching is one of the best practices that help the prospective teachers so as to improve their teaching competency, that increases their self-confidence, that also their professional commitment in their future academic life. Thank you.